The Khalid is a main battle tank jointly developed by Pakistan and China during the 1990s. The original prototype was known as the MBT-2000. Around 300 Al-Khalid tanks were in service with the Pakistan Army as of 2009, with unconfirmed reports mentioning 500 tanks in 2009. Further production was reputedly on hold due to lack of tank engines, with Ukraine first refusing to provide engines but later promising to deliver 110 new tank engines. According to news reports, since the political instability, Ukraine is facing issues in making deliveries of equipment. The Bangladesh Army ordered 44 MBT-2000s in 2011. The tank is also used by the Royal Moroccan Army. It was trialed by the Peruvian Army for possible acquisition, but was discarded due to financial problems. Operated by a crew of 3 and armed with a 125mm smoothbore tank gun that is reloaded automatically. The tank uses a modern fire control system integrated with night fighting equipment and is capable of firing many types of anti-tank rounds as well as guided anti-tank missiles. Al-Khalid is named after the 7th-century Muslim commander Khalid bin al-Walid, an evolution of Chinese and Soviet tanks. The design is considerably smaller and lighter than most Western main battle tanks. It is based on the Chinese Type 90II, which combined technologies from several Soviet and Western tanks. The Al-Khalid is unusual in that it was designed to be adaptable for manufacture, so that it can be easily integrated with a variety of foreign engines and transmissions. The current production variant of the Al-Khalid uses a diesel engine and transmission supplied by the KMDB Design Bureau of Ukraine. The first production models entered service with the Pakistan Army in 2001. Pakistan plans to start the production of next-generation Al-Khalid tank after the completion of orders for Al-Khalid MBT development. In the 1970s, the leaders of China's People's Liberation Army were concerned about the Soviet threat, and requested an improved main battle tank to replace the old and obsolete Type 59 tank. Thus in 1980, Norinco was formed, and the Inner Mongolia First Machine Group Corporation was tasked with developing a series of new tanks. A joint development deal was signed with Pakistan in January 1990. Initial Chinese-built prototypes were tested in Pakistan in August 1991. Pakistan completed its manufacturing plant at Taxila in 1992. Pakistan spent more than $20 million over the next 8 years on the co-development of a model suitable for its needs and on creating a capability to manufacture it locally. The Director General of Heavy Industries Taxila Lt. Gen. Hamid Javed and Major General Muhammad Asad supervised the project. The design team modified the tank to accept a foreign-built engine. Several different prototypes were evaluated, in light of high ambient temperatures and the fine sand and dust that would be encountered in operational areas such as the deserts of southern Pakistan. The development of high-performance cooling and air filtering systems was emphasized during the planning stage of the project. Implementation of a hydro-gas suspension system was considered, but, after technical evaluation, it was found to be impractical due to various limitations such as problems with reliability and maintainability. Installation of the Renk 304 transmission was also considered but disregarded. An early version was armed with a Chinese gun and fire control system, and had a German-designed MTU 396 diesel engine which was built under license in China. Another version was equipped with a more advanced Western digital fire control system and powered by a Perkins 1200 horsepower Condor diesel engine and SES MESM 500 automatic transmission. This version was considered too expensive, and underperformed in the extreme heat of southern Pakistan. Finally, a version was tested with the compact Ukrainian 6DD2 1,200 horsepower diesel engine. This configuration was chosen by Pakistan for the production version of the tank and came to be known as Al-Khalid. Ukraine also sold THOUD tanks to Pakistan, which were powered by a similar engine. The final tank design, resulting from a decade of cooperative development, was designated Type 90IIM. The Chinese company Norinco showed the new Type 90IIM during the March 2001 Abu Dhabi Defense Expo, under the export name MBT 2000. The version powered by the Ukrainian engine, intended for domestic production in Pakistan, was named Al-Khalid. During the development period, Heavy Industries Taxila gained experience after building the Type 85IIAP under Chinese license and prepared to begin production of the Al-Khalid tank in 1999. A pilot batch of 15 tanks was inducted into the 31st Cavalry Regiment of Pakistan's Armoured Corps on 20 July 2001. Pakistan signed a contract with Ukraine's Malyshev factory in May 2002 for the delivery of 315 kmdb 6DD2 diesel engines over 3 years. An additional batch of Al-Khalid tanks was delivered on 23 September 2004. Pakistan planned to build a total of 600 Al-Khalid tanks for its armed forces. In 2006, a US-based market and special research organization reported findings showing that the Al-Khalid, along with 2 other MBTs, would account for nearly 45% of all new MBTs built until 2015. In April 2002, it was reported that Malaysia was considering purchasing the Al-Khalid after evaluation by Malaysian military personnel, but Malaysia eventually backed out without stating any reasons. The Saudi Arabian army began conducting trials of the Al-Khalid's desert performance in April 2006, after expressing interest in purchasing a batch of the tanks 2 years earlier. No order for the tank was placed despite the symbolic naming of the tank after Khalid ibn al-Walid. In May 2008, Lt. Gen. Sarath Fonseca of the Sri Lanka Army held talks with his Pakistan Army counterparts regarding the sale of military equipment, weapons and ammunition. The supply of 22 Al-Khalid MBTs to the Sri Lanka Army was reportedly finalized during these talks in a deal worth over $100 million. No deliveries of Al-Khalids to Sri Lanka from Pakistan has been reported as of 2015. Peru leased 5 VT-1A from China for trials in 2009. The Peruvian government had expressed interest in purchasing 80 to 120 units to complement the fleet of Soviet T-55 tanks in service with the Peruvian army. Peru decided to buy MBT 2000 tanks. The deal was blocked as China did not obtain permission to resell some Ukrainian components. Unveiling Al-Khalid was revealed on 17 July 1991 by the then Prime Minister of Pakistan, Mian Muhammad Nawaz Sharif, along with the then Pakistani Chief of Army Staff Mirza Aslam Beg, in a ceremony held at the Heavy Rebuild Factory, Taxila. In his speech, the Prime Minister said that the completion of the project was a big step towards self-reliance. The Army Chief said that for the first time in history, not only had technology been transferred to Pakistan, but the design was also made by Pakistani engineers themselves. Design. Armament. Al-Khalid is designed with a 125mm smoothbore, auto-frame fret-edged and chrome-plated gun barrel which is manufactured with highly stiff electroslag remelting steel. The gun is then put under stringent quality control process to ensure standard barrel life of 1100 rounds EFC. Barrels that cannot pass this test are rejected. This gun provides very high internal chamber pressures for APFSDS, HEAT-FS and guided missile. Further, this gun can fire the following types of conventional ammunition: APFSDS, HEAT-FS and HEAT-FS. The gun is a modified variant of both the ZPT-98 and KBA-3 series of 125mm smoothbore gun for Al-Khalid MBT, which provided compatibility with Ukrainian ATGMs such as Combat. The gun retains qualities of both Chinese and Ukrainians mated with indigenous design for better and accurate firepower on stationary and moving targets alike. The gun-launched, laser-guided anti-tank guided missiles can also be launched. Al-Khalid also fires a Pakistani DU round, the NISA 125mm DU round. It is equipped with a muzzle reference system and dual-axis stabilization system. Elevation and azimuth control is achieved by electro-hydraulic power drives. The automatic ammunition handling system for the main gun has a 24-round ready-to-fire magazine and can load and fire at a rate of 8 rounds per minute. The tank is also equipped with a 7.62mm coaxial machine gun, a 12.7mm externally mounted air defense machine gun that can be aimed and fired from within the tank, and smoke grenade launch. The gunner is provided with a dual magnification day sight and the commander with a panoramic sight for all-around independent surveillance. Both sights are dual-axis image stabilized and have independent laser range finders. The tank has hunter-killer capability, giving the commander the ability to acquire new targets independently while the gunner is engaging another target. The automatic target tracking system is designed to work when tank and target are both moving. Night vision for the gunner and commander is achieved through a dual magnification thermal imaging sight. Both sights are integrated with the fire control system. The production Al-Khalid tank has a fire control system of Western origin. In the MBT 2000, the Chinese Norinco fire control system has inputs from 10 sensors. The ballistic computation time is less than 1 second. The manufacturer claims routine first-round hits on standard 8 feet square targets at ranges over 2,000 meters. Effective range 200 to 7,000 meters. Sensor laser ranging from 200 to 9,990 meters. French auto tracking interfaced with gunner station. Firing 4 types of munitions. Gunner's thermal imaging sight. Commander's image intensification night vision sight. Gyro stabilized and UPS power supply system. Prototypes were demonstrated with various fire control systems of Chinese and Western origin, but the production model Al-Khalid MBTs use a Western fire control system and gun control system. The tank is equipped with the Integrated Battlefield Management System, named Radar, a digital communication system developed domestically by Hit and Care. It comprises a flat-screen display mounted inside the tank which communicates with those of other vehicles, including command posts such as the HIT SAKB. It uses a data link to facilitate secure communication of battlefield information between units, including tank video footage and information from unmanned aerial vehicles. A project to manufacture the first Pakistani tank gun barrel was started by Pakistan's Strategic Plans Division in 2000. In April 2011, it was reported that the first Pakistani-produced tank gun barrel was ready to be delivered to HIT for installation on the Al-Khalid and Al-Zara. Previously, HIT imported 125mm gun barrel blanks from France for the two tanks, which would then be machined in Pakistan by HIT. The first Pakistani gun barrel blank was produced at Heavy Mechanical Complex in a joint project involving HIT, People's Steel Mills Limited and other defense-related organizations. The specialist-grade steel was produced at PSML and the resulting steel block was passed on to HMC. HMC then pressed the block to a length of 5 meters and square cross-section before forging it into a 125mm smoothbore barrel. The barrel was then heat-treated several times in facilities such as a large vertical furnace. The process took 2 to 3 months and was watched by experts from other defense-related organizations. The barrel was to be capable of firing at 4 rounds per minute, as well as being compatible with the autoloader and its 24-round magazine. According to a HIT official, a joint team proved to the Pakistan Army that strict standards would be met before the Army approved production of a first batch of 50 gun barrels. By HMC, the Pakistani gun barrels would likely be installed on upgraded versions of the Al-Khalid, which are under development by HIT. AR's 200 million Pakistani rupees contract has been finalized by HIT for the first 50-barrel batch, which is slightly lower than the barrels imported from France. After production of the first batch of local tank gun barrels in 2011, Heavy Machinery Complex is planning to explore manufacture of artillery guns. Mobility. The production model Al-Khalid is powered by a 6DD2 liquid-cooled diesel engine, designed by the Kharkiv-Morozov Design Bureau of Ukraine. The 6DD2 is a supercharged 6-cylinder engine delivering 1,200 horsepower. The two-stroke design, with the pistons arranged horizontally in an opposed piston configuration, makes the engine very compact and therefore more suitable for being fitted into relatively small vehicles such as the Al-Khalid MBT. The 6DD2 engine drives a French-designed hydro-mechanical automatic transmission, the SESM 500, which is also fitted to the Leclerc MBT, capable of manual and fully automatic power shifting. The transmission has 5 forward and 2 reverse speeds, along with a braking system that incorporates carbon friction brakes and a secondary speed retarding system. Gear changes are controlled by a torque converter, which is made more efficient by addition of an automatic lock-up clutch. There is also a mechanical backup system for use in emergencies, able to shift 2 gears forward and reverse. The Al-Khalid is fairly lightweight compared to the Western tanks, weighing 46 tons compared to the 60-ton M1 Abrams and Leopard 2. A power-to-weight ratio of 26.66 horsepower-ton gives acceleration from 0 to 32 km/h in 10 seconds and a maximum speed of 70 km/h. The speed and agility also helping to improve survivability. A snorkel allows the tank to cross water obstacles up to 5 meters deep after some preparation by the crew. Navigation is assisted by an inertial navigation system and a GPS satellite navigation system. Protection. Al-Khalid has modular composite armor and explosive reactive armor, high-hardened steel plates over rolled homogeneous layers. The composite armor includes classified elements and narrow inserts. Vehicle also has overpressure nuclear biological chemical defense system, an effective thermal smoke generator, internal fire extinguisher and explosion suppression system. The infrared signature of the tank is reduced by infrared reflective paint. Al-Khalid 1 is equipped with newly developed indigenous explosive reactive armor AORAKMK-2, which is not only lightweight, but also more resistant to APF-SDS heat and EFS rounds. ERA is developed by Global Industrial Defense Solutions Corporation. Al-Khalid is also equipped with an active protection system known as VATA. It is working on an indigenous APS system for future batches of specially for Al-Khalid 2. In tests it has 350mm to 450mm versus APF-SDS and 450mm to 550mm versus EAT. An advanced laser detection system from Al-Technique Corporation is present. The ATCOP LTS-1 laser threat warning system developed by Institute of Industrial Control Systems. LTS-1 consists of a mast-mounted sensor in operator's control box, which includes a display showing threats 360 degrees around the tank. It can detect laser rangefinders and laser target designators and responds automatically by triggering acoustic alarms, smoke generators and other countermeasure systems. LTS-1 can detect laser devices operating in the 0.8 to 1.06 micrometers waveband, has a 360 degrees field of view in azimuth and a field of view in elevation of -15 degrees to +90 degrees. Operating voltage is 12 volts to 24 volts DC nominal, with power consumption being 8 W nominal. The sensor head is 165 mm in diameter and 35 mm high, and the control box is 80 by 130 by 55 mm in size. Laser threat sensor LTS-786P is an early warning device which gives audio and visual alarms of threat by sensing a laser beam aimed at it from any direction. The exact location of the threat is indicated by 9 LEDs covering all directions above the horizon. It has the capability to differentiate between a laser rangefinder, laser target designator or a laser target tracker signal. Provision of sensor output signal interfacing for appropriate countermeasures is also available. It can be used on stationary or moving objects of any size or shape. The maximum operating range is 10 km. ATCOP LTS-786P Technical Specifications Response Enhanced for ND JAG Laser Signal Range and GT 10,000 meters. Field of view capable of detecting any signal aimed towards LTS-786P. Detector type silicon photodiode. Size 214 by 134 mm, 126 by 123 by 100 mm, weight 2 kg, 1 kg. Variants. Prototypes Type 90II. It was a further development of the Type 80-85th series main battle tanks and was introduced in 1992. P1 prototype incorporating a Chinese 125 mm gun, autoloader and fire control system. German MTU 396 diesel engine and Renkel SG 3000 automatic transmission. P2 prototype incorporating a Chinese 125 mm gun and autoloader, Western fire control system. Perkins 1200 horsepower Condor diesel engine and French SESM 500 automatic transmission. P3 prototype fitted with Chinese 125 mm gun and autoloader, Western fire control system. Ukrainian KMDB6DD2 1200 horsepower diesel engine and French SESM 500 automatic transmission. P4 prototype export variant incorporating German NATO standard 120 mm gun, Western fire control system. German MTU 871 TCM AVDS 1790 diesel engine and Renkel SG 3000 automatic transmission. Production variants Type 90IIM MBT 2000. Type 90IIM was introduced in 2000 with Ukraine's KMDB 1200 horsepower 6DD2 diesel engine. Export version MBT 2000 introduced in 2001 at a defense exhibition in Abu Dhabi. Al-Khalid, based on P3 prototype, operational as of 2001. Has an ammunition capacity of 39,125 mm rounds, 512.7 mm rounds and 3,007.62 mm rounds. Al-Khalid I upgraded variant with ammunition capacity increased to 49,125 mm rounds, 1,512.7 mm rounds and 7,107.62 mm rounds. Incorporates modifications made to the fire control system, which is now a more advanced multi-process fire control computer with up to 7 km effective identification range. The engagement range is also improved, which is up to 3.5 km. Digital driver panel, IBMs, side skirts, trackpads, digitally controlled FPGA-based solid-state autoloader with bidirectional tray movement and ammo availability info on screen. Info in empty and full trays and types of available rounds. Bigger carousel for longer rounds. Ukrainian Vata electro-optical jammer. Sagam 3rd generation thermal images and improved air conditioning system. It is the most heavily weaponized tank by tonnage. It is fitted with a 1,200 horsepower Ukrainian engine. Al-Khalid II's top speed is 72 km per hour, and it weighs 47 tons. Al-Khalid II upgraded variant incorporating redesigned turret, increased weight, upgraded modular armor package and sensors, improved ammunition and a new power pack developing 1,500 horsepower. It has new armor that has been tested to defeat all known 120 mm and 125 mm rounds. The tank has a new integrated battle management system and an active threat protection system. VT-1A, a new export variant of the Type 90II with Chinese interior, turret, gun, electronics and armor. It has a Chinese 1,300 horsepower engine. Cancelled projects Type 90II, an export model offered to Pakistan. It was powered by French diesel engine, developing 1,500 horsepower. The 1,500 horsepower V-Series diesel engine from France was considered initially cancelled after France joined the international arms embargo on Pakistan after the Pakistan's 1998 nuclear tests. Operators. Current operators Pakistan Army, around 500 Al-Khalid tanks in service, total 600 Al-Khalid MBTs planned. Morocco Royal Moroccan Army 54 VT-1As in service as of 2011, another 96 to be delivered by China. Bangladesh Army 44 VT-1As and AMP-3 ARV in service June 2011. Sri Lanka Army 22 VT-1As to be delivered by China. Myanmar Army, unknown number of VT-1As in service. People's Republic of China PLAGF 3 VT-1A in service in the Harbin Military District as training vehicles. Potential operators Peruvian Army, contracted to buy 80 to 100 MBT 2000 from China. However, the deal fell through partly due to the unauthorized export of the Ukrainian engine. Al-Khalid has not been an export success in international markets due to its customization for Pakistani conditions as well as lack of a proper marketing organization. According to Pakistani forums, the market research was incomplete and the pitch inappropriate. Finally, lack of support by outside suppliers has been a major issue.